Good evening, everyone. How are you doing today? This is Yusuf Chowdhury, tuning in from San Antonio, Texas. What's going on, man?
What's up, bud?
Nothing much.
Hey, I want to talk to you tomorrow
Okay.
about helping me with the potential website for a company Chris and I are starting. Chris Marty,
Okay.
and myself.
Oh, that's another one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know.
Yeah.
Awesome. See you later, bro.
Yeah. Have a good day, bud.
You too. All right. That was good. All right. Let's see, folks. Give me a second here. I'm just going to go ahead and, as usual, I'm just going to... Oh, shoot. It's ridiculous. Firefox. Oh, 1 second. Every time I'm trying to log in, keeps asking me for security. So today's subject going to be like similar to yesterday. We'll continue on analyzing your website to see if it's properly optimized. You know what I mean? So just give me a second here. Let me go ahead and share this. So by the way, how are you all doing? Huh? How are you all doing? Not just today, just for days. Let me know. Leave a comment below. All right, so let's see, where were we? So yesterday we did analyze 3 websites. So basically what I did, I gave my feedback based on the user experience, like some of the user experience concept. Tawsif wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, bro, what's going on, my man? And so I basically touch some base on the user experience. Hey, what's going on, man? Are you available to Blab? Is Blab still around? Is it still around though? Thank you for tuning in. So yesterday I did analyze a couple of websites. So we're gonna continue, and mainly, most of the feedback was, or the analysis was based on some of the minor user experience ideas. Then we touch based some of the basic on page SEO. All right. So today we're going to do the same thing, and this is going to be very beneficial for you if you have a website. So try to watch as many websites we are going to go through. In fact, this whole week I'm just going to probably look at all these websites that people are asking for some feedback on the WP beginners Facebook group page. So this will at least give an idea when it comes to your website, what sort of areas you need to look for, that kind of stuff, right? So give me a few minutes here. For some reason, the Chrome is not pulling up anything. What the heck? Let's see. Let me just remove all this post right here. Let's go directly. I don't know, Chrome been acting up lately. It's just weird. Right now, I'm not seeing anything. Just like a white screen of death on Facebook. What is this? Uh-oh. Let me see. WP. WP beginner. Just bear with me, folks. Bear with me, because I'm trying to go to this page, and for some reason, I don't know why. So there is the WP beginner WordPress for beginners page, and this is a group. Okay, the page has 300,000 followers, but the group has like 30, almost close to 40,000 followers, and they're super active. They're very, very active. I see tons of. It's not coming up. That's weird. Let me try Firefox instead, because for some reason. You mean You mean Edge, because they changed the name to Edge now instead of the crappy Internet Explorer. Just give me a second because Firefox is gonna ask me to enter this code. So give me a second here. All right. Come on. Yeah, the Explorer, man. I'm like now Chrome is acting up. Actually, yesterday for some reason, I was going to like watch a couple of YouTube videos. For some reason, I was getting like this green screen. I'm like, what green screen on every video? But the problem doesn't replicate on Firefox. I'm like, what the heck is going on? What the heck? Must be the coronas. So bear with me, please. And if y'all have any question, what? Let's see another one here. 3, 4. Okay. Every time I save, you never save. You ridiculous Firefox. Okay, so again, folks, bear with me here. Bear with me. So how is everyone doing? How is your business? How is your life? Anything new? Anything productive that you're working on? All right, let's see this WP Beginner. Come on, man. All right, here we go. Wow. Did they just crash? Did they just crash? Because I cannot go to the group anymore. Interestingly. Is Facebook acting up? I can go to their page, but not the group. But not the group for some reason. This is so ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. I'm telling you, it is so ridiculous. Let me go to another group. Can anybody check this? Can anybody, I think you broke the internet. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, I break the internet all the time. Can you all go to any Facebook group and let me know if you get the white screen of death? Does anybody get this white screen of death? Just go to any group, like any Facebook group, because I'm right now testing. Oh yeah, none of the Facebook groups are showing up. It's like white screen of death. Damn you, Facebook. Can you all do this from your own side? Because I checked it on the Chrome browser. I don't have Firefox. I mean, I have Firefox. What I meant, I don't have Explorer. So if y'all can check that, that would be great. Let me know if you're all having the same problem. Are you all having the same problem with the Facebook groups? Huh? Can you just go there, go to any group you're part of, and let me know? Because my plan was to analyze more websites. If you have your own website that you want me to check the ranking of your website, analyze it for you, share it with me. That group I manage is up on Chrome. Interesting. It's weird, man. I went to several groups and they're not coming up. I tested it on Chrome and I tested it on Firefox. It's not coming up. Very, very strange, my man. Very strange. Very, very strange. You know what I mean? David Johnson. Okay, it's all working, huh? What the heck? Like, only me is not working. Damn you. Let's see here. Yeah, man. I'm in Chicago. No Facebook for Texas. No Facebook. Well, I mean, the page is fine. I can go to the page. I can go to the personal profiles. I can look at your profiles and everything. But any group, like any Facebook group I go to, I have this white screen of death. Okay. It's interesting. Very interesting. Maybe because I give too much comment. Maybe I just give too much information and now Facebook gonna block me. Yeah, it looks like it's just freaking me, you know. All right, no problem. Let's not get distracted, right? from this dilemma, which I need to figure out later on. But how about you guys? Huh? Go ahead, share with me your website so I can analyze it for you, so I can give you some feedback on what you can do to improve it. You know what I mean? Don't feel bad if I make fun of it. It's all good. You know, we're all friends here. So go ahead and put your website. You know, if you're not too scared for me to give you some feedback. When I did the analysis yesterday, and some of these common I don't know if I should say a mistake, but it's a common thing that happens, that the majority of the website out there, they don't build it in a way to put the buyer's persona, which is the target audience. Like they don't think about the target audience on how they're going to behave when they come to the website. In fact, you don't want to assume how they're going to behave. You have to take them through which we call the buyer's journey, right? We call this buyer's journey, okay? So you have to take them in a certain place, in a certain way. So, and I noticed that was a common thing. Like for some reason still, when I look at the website, I don't see a clear call to action. It doesn't tell me what I'm supposed to go. It doesn't flow very well, right? So if I can give you an example of what I mean by that. So let me show you. This is one of my business partners' website right here. Okay, this is one of my business partner here. This is what happening here. What is this? What is this? 1 second. No, don't upgrade now. I'm in the middle of something. Ecom, come on, give me a break. Are you crazy? Can you all see this? Can you all? Oh wow, what happened here? This is one even let you share the open cancel. Let's see. Take it easy. Take it easy. Do not have permission to access the content of your Mac. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. It's always good, like when you go live and things don't work. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Charles, what's going on, man? Hey, what's up, brother? Thanks. Good to see you, man. Yeah, today it's a strange day. It's a strange day. Let's see. Can I default? Can y'all see the website? No, it doesn't come up. Okay, just weird. All right. Very strange. So I guess I'm just gonna. Today's a talking day because for some reason, when I share the screen, it's not working. So it's time to buy a new PC. No new PC, man. This Mac is good, man. This Mac's been with me for a long time. It's good. It's good. No, I'm not gonna change that. It must be a software. It must be an update because I did update Mac to the latest update. I just forgot to go and do some configuration. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, as I was saying, the most common thing that I see all the time, that is there's no flow. There's no flow. It's not telling the visitor what they need to do. Like, let's say, for example, Tawsif, let's say he offers a financial consulting. So the first thing when somebody comes to his website, we'll talk about, are you frustrated on don't know how to handle your financial means and needs and whatnot? So you address the problem to the audience. Then you're going to say, I got the 3 solutions that can benefit you in X, Y, and Z. Contact me, book a session. If they don't want to do that, learn more about me. So what happens when you talk about learn more, it will take the visitor we'll take them down, and they're going to see, for example, what the company provides, how long he's been in business, maybe some testimonies from customers, companies you work for. Then the call to action again, hey, book a session with me. So you see what I'm saying? So there is some sort of a flow. So you have to take them from one place to another. If they don't take the main call to action or the action on the main call to action, then you're going to have them look at somewhere else. So this is very common in most of the websites that I analyzed a couple of days ago. Okay, so that's the first thing. Then when it comes to the logo, make sure the logo, which is the brand of your business, stands out. If you make it too small and too short, it's not easy to notice or to see. Okay. When it comes to the logo, my designer team taught me that when it comes to logo, you should not, put more than 3 colors. 2 should be the maximum. And that's just the recommendation. So if you have somebody, like if you hire us or hire somebody to do a graphic design or logo design, typically the professional going to ask you, it's your logo going to be an image only, or is it going to be a text only, or an image and a text? Okay, that's the first question. The second question is, what is your primary? What is the 2 colors or the 3 colors you want to use? And number 3 question going to be, which one is the primary? That's why I prefer 2, because if you say red and white, then what's the primary? You can say white is the primary and the red is the secondary, right? So that's it. Now you're going to make this logo that's the brand, that has a message, it has a tagline. So when we see it, it has to catch our attention. Okay. The other thing I noticed, the slide bar. So this is 2020. I recommend a lot of businesses to basically stop using a slider or slide bar, unless if you're gonna use the slide like instead of going left and right, just maybe like this. If you're a photographer and wedding photography, you have you have like a headline and a subheader and a call to action, and the photo changes, that's fine. Or you can also, for videographer, you can have a video background, which is also like pretty cool. You can see the video background, very dynamic. Then you have this headline, subheadline, and a call to action. Okay, so I noticed that those are one thing that they don't have it. What else I remember? The flow, the color, the text is another thing. You don't want to write or have your text to be like so light gray colors, right? And it's so small that you need a telescope, right? Exception to the rule: Google, NBC, Peacock. What are you talking about? So, okay, I got distracted there. Oh yeah, I mean Google that's a search. I mean Google, look at the simplicity of Google, right? I mean just look at Dropbox. They changed the design right now. If you look at Apple, that's another simplicity, right? So look at Google, just search. But even when it comes to website, I know sometimes we talk about the aesthetic. I'm not saying aesthetic is not important, that the design is not important, that the color is not important. They are. But sometimes you will see some website that looks so crappy, like Craigslist, but they still get millions of hits, right? Why? Because it has an audience. So what does that mean? That means at the end of the day, your target audience are the one that decides. Your target audience are the one that will basically come to you. So that's why you need to make sure that when you build your web pages or your website, you have to understand, again, who is your audience, what challenges they're facing, and how I'm going to be the solution for their challenges, or what kind of service I provide. Make sense? So when you build a site, you have to think of it from that perspective. And this also goes for like the online trainings and the monthly membership and whatnot. What's going on, man? Oh, anytime, man. You can probably join me live sometime. Thanks, bro. So the monthly membership and the training and the online courses. So even if you create an online course, you are addressing your audience. What is it about? And what's the course going to have? And of course, the call to action to sign up. You know what I mean? I know the concept seems very simple, but this type of problem I see, like, I would say like 99%. Like when I meet any prospect, it's like I can just close my eyes. I close my eyes, okay? And ask the same question, and I know what's going to happen, right? Because I can see from far away that anybody approaches to meet me with an issue with the website, that's like just the questions are stuck in my head. I don't even need the paper anymore. I don't need to use a sheet to qualify them. It's all stuck in my head because I've been doing this for years, right? Google uses blue, red, orange, and green in their logo. Indeed. But that's different though. Okay, that's totally different. If you are going to build a brand with all these colors, now you're going to be in the situation what if you print a cap or hoodie or a t-shirt, it's going to cost you more because of different colors. Same thing with a business card, right? And there's some logos like completely plain gray, just gray. Do you see what I'm saying? So yes, there's some exception to the rules. Absolutely, you're correct. But in general, I wouldn't put too many colors because now you have to, if you have a logo with 4 colors, how would you organize the site? Do you going to have a bunch of colors everywhere, or are you going to just have 2 colors maximum? It's like easy on the eye. But you're absolutely correct. There's always an exception to the rule, right? There's always an exception to the rule. For example, a lot of social media consultants, management, and experts will tell you that the importance of that you have to use organic social, and whatnot. I have some clients that don't even use social media organically. All they do is just run ads and they get leads. That's it. I have this one customer. I'm not kidding. I mean, he's been with me for like almost 3 years, and the majority of his leads comes, of course, from Google and Bing ads, but also comes from from Google and Facebook ads, right? And he's active on Facebook story and Instagram, but not like on a daily basis. But the leads that he gets is from Facebook leads. Make sense? A website is not a coloring book. Oh, I like that, Charles. That's a very good book. That's a very good question. A website is not a coloring book. I mean, look at the what is it called? Elon Musk's website, The Boring Company. Have you all seen that? Just Google, just Google a Boring Company. Look how simple it is. I mean, just a video in a couple of pages. I mean, that website probably doesn't do that much, but I believe when I run that website on SEMrush, they were getting like close to 250,000 to 500,000 hits a month. And there's nothing there except just a video about not even in company, it's one of the project and a couple of projects, and it's very, very simple, white background, and that's about it. So sometimes, yes, there is an exception, to the rule. But you as a business, you have to really understand that since your website is your real estate, right? This is where you are going to utilize all the social channels so you can attract your target audience back to your website. In the social channels, the problem, well, not a problem, the challenge with those is that you don't own them, right? You don't own it. You don't own Facebook. You don't own YouTube. You don't own Instagram. And if they decide to remove you or censor you, which has been happening a lot lately, right? Then what are you going to do, right? You have to take those target audience to your website because from your website, right? Because from your website, you can start collecting the name and email addresses. So now you have a connection with your lead. But you can do that with the LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook. You cannot send them messages like through email. You cannot use their emails to market back to them. You can do that from your website. Unless if you use like ManyChat or Chatbot to collect their name and emails strategically, that's like a new way of thinking to do that. You know what I mean? Charles said, a logo is not a cartoon. I'm like, a logo is not a cartoon. I like that one too. Yes, a logo is not a cartoon, but even though some logo looks like a cartoon, okay, cartoon character, it can be exceptional to the rule, right? So, so some logo can go with that. Moved over to Facebook, image a lot clearer than YouTube. Oh, really? Interesting. That is interesting, Bruce. Very interesting. How are you doing, man? How is your business? Bruce, how is your business, man? I didn't know that the Blab is still around. Okay. So see, these are some of the common mistakes that I see when it comes to like visual. Like, the call to action button has to stand out, has to be bigger, because if I'm a plumber and my number one money-making machine is the phone number, then I got to make sure that the phone number is on the top right, red box. Call that number, for example. Then everything else is secondary. And the secondary aspect of all the pages takes the visitor back to the main call to action, which is that red button again. You know what I mean? So those are things that I saw. I also saw that the blog post, some of them don't even have visuals, which is a mistake. I mean, if you write a content with a good headline, you have to accompany it with an image that reflects the headline, okay? And the way you write the content, you make sure that the paragraph is separated. You have a header, 1 or 2 or 3, call to actions. Maybe in the middle, you can have a lead capture and a social sharing button and a comment section for conversation, Yeah, Blab died 3 years ago. There you go. That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So those are the mistakes that I still see. What else in terms of the visual? If I can think of from user experience. So this year I'm heavily really focusing on all the website that has to be ADA compliant. If you all know what it is, ADA compliant, which is for the American with Disability Act, right? That means the website has to be built in a certain ways that people with disability, their software can basically identify and explain to them what every section of the website means, how the forms works, and how they can enter the information and whatnot, right? Of course, there's a lawsuit can take place for your website That's the scary part, right? I use that in myself, but I do assure them that, listen, you don't want to do it just for the lawsuit. Forget the lawsuit for a second. Do it for your audience who are disabled, that they have every right, like anybody else, to have an awesome experience through your website so they can buy your product and services. You know what I mean? So there is a website called wave.webaim.org. So make sure you go to this website, wave.webaim.org, and enter your website. Then you're going to see the errors that needs to be fixed. Okay, some of them you can do it by yourself, like an alternative text and whatnot. And some of them, if you're a coder, you can go back and use the script, the HTML, or the PHP and fix them. If not, then you have to have a developer fix those. Video production and editing, as well as building YouTube channels and developing strategies for businesses. So that's what Bruce really does. He's into video production business, but now he's utilizing the video production kind of company into YouTube, or creating videos for clients and posting them on YouTube, right? Is that what you're doing too, Bruce? So how is that going for you? How is the business going for you? So these are the visual thing. I mean, there are companies like user testing, where you can basically pay them. I remember I've been using it a couple of times a while back. You pay them like, I think for 5 people, like, I don't know, 250 or 500. I think 250. So what they do, they have an actual people that go to your website and they record their feedback, like in terms of experience, how easy it is and how it's not. Knowability, it's another organization that focuses on teaching agencies and developers on how to build a website based on the ADA compliancy. They have staff, they have freelancers who are blind or visually impaired, that they can actually help you. You pay them, like, I believe $70 or $100, and they will do an analysis to your website, and they will give you, hey, Diane, what's going on? And they'll give you feedback on how to improve your website. So user experience is very, very important, because this is one of the mistakes that I see, that a lot of some of the businesses and the small businesses and designers, that they focus on the beauty and the look of the site without thinking about the functionality of what the visitor is going to do on the website. You know what I mean? Helping with the distribution in addition to creating the content. Awesome, Bruce. Do you know what I mean? So if you sit back, right? If you sit back and first of all, think about this consistently. This is the website. This is the business. This is what I'm providing, the services or the product. I really have to focus on how can I make the experience awesome to the website visitor. I want them to feel like when they come into the website, it's very fast. It's very easy to find what they are looking for. It's very easy to jump from one page to another, to navigate and not to get confused, right? There is an amazing book. It's not new. It's kind of old book. It's called Don't Make Me Think by Steve Krug, which is Krug. Steve Krug. It's called Don't Make Me Think. So when you get a chance, read that book. It's amazing. It mostly talks about user experience and the strategies and technologies and whatnot, right? So user experience is very, very important, because once the target audience or the website visitor loses the interest, then you basically lost the client. They're going to go somewhere else. Okay? All right. So these are the stuff that I remember lightly when it comes to analyzing the website from the user experience. And sometimes what happens when you build the website by yourself or your company, you don't see it. You don't see the mistake. Like myself, I can look at anybody else, any other project, and I can find the mistakes, right? But if I look at my own, for some reason, I cannot see it. So I have to let my team look at my project, or a third-party company, my partners, to look at it and give me feedback. Believe it or not, I also do that. Charles, we have to focus on designing for our users and not designing to look cool. Absolutely, Charles. Absolutely, 100%. You are correct. And by the way, Charles here is also a website developer. So if anybody has any question, wants to get in touch with him, make sure you get in touch with him. Charles, do you have a website for your company or for your freelancing business? Feel free to put in the comment section, even though we do the same thing. Okay? Please go ahead and do that. So exactly like what Charles said, even when you focus on designing, you're designing it for the user, not for the look. I think that's exactly, you hit the nail, man. I mean, that's exactly what's happening, that they focus too much on the design for the sake of the look, but not for the sake of the customer, right? This is like the fatigue that most people go through, or the perfectionism. Because I have some people that I was training them how to, let's say, build a learning platform or the membership site platform for their knowledge and skills and whatnot. And a lot of them were focusing too much about, hey, Yusuf, should I get ClickFunnels? Should I get Leadpages? Should I get this? Should I get that? I'm like, hold on a second, man. Hold on a second. Like, why you are trying to buy all these stuff, right? I'm not saying don't invest in them, but the thing is you have to be smart about it. Like, why do you want to invest all these hundreds to even 1,000? Like, what are you trying to achieve from this? How are you going to get that return on investment if this is the first time that you're going to build a course to train somebody on networking, CCNA, or IT, or cloud computing, or machine learning, right? The first question you have to ask, who is my audience? Are they going to learn this sort of thing? Where do they hang out? What do they look for? Because there's so many free stuff available on YouTube. What makes me different if I'm going to charge it, right? So look at the audience first. Then the second thing is, instead of focusing on the tools and the website and whatnot, freaking create the course, right? Build the course, make the videos, prepare the courses. That should be the next step, right? Then the third step, when it comes to the selecting the tools, that depends on your budget. That depends on your marketing strategy. Like, what do you want to achieve for how long you want to run it. If it's organic, that's going to take forever, maybe 6 months, 9 months, 1 year. You're not going to have a lot of good results. You're not going to have a fast result. Of course, you're going to have a good result, but it's not going to be fast result. Then if you're going to invest in ads, like, Bing and Google and all the social media ads, how much money you're going to invest, how much you're expecting to get it in return to basically get even. So you have to think about all this stuff. Then think about, should I go with this platform or that platform? So when somebody tells you just go with certain platform, the question is, you don't want to jump in right away. You have to ask yourself, what the heck is this platform going to do for me? If I talk about, let's say, Leadpages or Instapage or ClickFunnels, what does ClickFunnels do? What's in it? Do I need everything, or do I need something that I want? Make sense? So you have to ask this question to yourself. Put the prices first. How much money I can invest in this sort of software? Let's say Teachable, for example. There's Thinkific. It's very affordable, like, $50, $30 a month. A drag and drop. I can put all my videos up there. I can put all my PDF files up there, and I can promote the link. When people sign up, they're gonna get their own username and password automatically. Okay, that's cool. It's affordable. I can do this. Do I need all the other that has additional extra bells and whistles and Sawza and hot sauce, gray sauce? No, you don't need that. So the question is, how I'm going to utilize my, let's say, if you're going to build a membership website to train something, you create the material before you try to buy the tools. Then decide how much money I'm able to invest, how much time I'm going to devote in this sort of program to teach others, right? Because the mistake that I see, like, people jump. Should I go with Infusionsoft, aka Confusionsoft, right? Or Aweber or MailerLite? Or I'm like, hold on, calm down. Did you create the courses yet? Have you prepared them? Right? Awesome, you did. Next step, how are you going to market it? Right? Organic, online. Organic will take time. How are you going to do that? And online ads going to cost you this much. Okay. Third thing, when they see the ad and you capture them, do you just want them to receive a email with the login and get in? That's it? Or do you want to, capture them and send them so many emails so they can convert later on? It's up to you. You see, you have to ask all this question, then figure out what platform I'm going to pick to do the marketing, right? No problem. And there you go. So check out Charles' website, designertx.com. Make sure you connect with him. If you all have any question about web development, website, Charles here, that's what he does. Okay. All right. Let's jump back to, we talked about the user experience. It's very, 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 very important to focus on the user experience of your customer. That's why if you look at retail stores like the Costco, H-E-B, Walmart, even Amazon store, right? The way they build the aisles, right? These are not haphazard. This is just like somebody just woke up one day like, let's do it this way. No, there's a whole psychology behind it. There's so design behind it. In fact, when I used to consult to traditional advertising agencies, I mean, we spent like 6 months just to put one thing in one aisle for a reason. Everything is part of marketing. That's why sometimes marketing can, well, in a way, marketing can be manipulative or manipulation. This is what the media and the big corporation does. They manipulate people using marketing, unfortunately. So marketing is a tool. You can use it for good or you can use it for bad stuff. Okay? So even the Starbucks, everything there's a reason behind it, right? So same thing with your website. You don't want to manipulate. What you want to do, you're going to set it up in a way that your customer will have the awesome experience and will be wowed by what you have on the site. And so they're going to come over and over. You know what I mean? Okay? All right. Any question about the user experience, design, and whatnot? Because the second most common mistake that I still see, and that is the basic on-page SEO. And this is funny because I can provide this service, I guess, I don't know, for another probably a decade, because it's 2020 and still, I would say like 9 or 8 out of 10 websites out there don't even do the basic, don't even do the basic on-page optimization, right? Because when it comes to SEO, you have off-page optimization and you have on-page optimization. The on-page means everything done on the front of the website, from user experience to ad copy to the content and the copywriting or the copyright material. Then the back end, the technical stuff, right? So the least thing, if you can do the off-page SEO, because that will take you like 30 to 50 hours every month to do the link building, content distribution, toxic link analysis, and this, requesting, content submission. So that's a lot of work. But the least thing you can do is your on page on your website, all the pages plus all the new blog posts or the new material updated blog posts. You have to make sure that the search engine for it is set up properly. So what you can use this Chrome extension called the SEO Quake. Use that extension and go to your website, and it will tell you how the front page is built, what's missing in terms of the title and meta tag, the keyword density, which is not that valuable anyway, but at least it will tell you if you have too many of the same keyword so many times, more than 3%, that can probably hurt you. But it has so much information, technical, and that you can see, right? So the common mistake is that they don't do the on-page SEO for every single page. They don't put the page titles. The page titles, most of them don't even have a relevant keyword phrase that the page talks about. The page title or the SEO title or the title tag, for my recommendation, shouldn't be more than 70 characters, including spaces, right? And the meta tag description, even though it has no SEO value, at least you can utilize it up to 160 characters, even though you can write it up to 320. But I still recommend if you keep it short so you can address it to your audience who's looking for you on Google, right? I want to know more about link. Yes, link building. There's a whole crazy process when it comes to link building. Well, I'm going to talk about right now in a few minutes. I've built my site in the 1998 when SEO was just getting started. Yeah, but now the SEO got so sophisticated. In fact, a few days ago, I even shared the latest update algorithm that the Google release is called May Core Update. Now they changed from animal's name, from panda to bird and hummingbird, whatever, now to like month. Okay, so May something Core is their last algorithm update that they released just last week or this week, the first week, okay, of May. Okay, so the on page of everything. So the on page, the page title, the title tag for every single page of your website has to be there. I basically do it for our clients. Has to be there. It has to be relevant. If you talk about a specific service, make sure that keyword is there for that particular service. But again, you don't want to assume the keyword. You do the research to find out what your customer are looking for locally and what kind of website shows up similar to your business, right? And the meta tag description has to be relevant as well for every single page. You don't want to have a copy. I noticed when I was analyzing a couple of these websites, the meta tag was duplicated on all the pages. You might get in trouble for that. Okay, make sure that you have the Google Analytics configured. I always emphasize that, and the Google Search Console, because the Search Console will tell you what's duplicated and what's not, and if the website gets the crawling or if it doesn't get the Google crawling. Okay, so images needs to have the alternative text, which means you are describing what the image is about. Make sure the size of the image file is not more than 1 megabyte. It should be less than 1 mega bits or byte and 500 kilobits and whatnot, kilobytes. I'm getting mixed with bytes and bits, right? So less than 1 MB. Okay. What else? My recommendation: don't upload the video or the audio directly to the website. It can slow down your site based on your hosting. It's better to upload your videos on YouTube or Vimeo or any other third-party video hosting sites. And for the audio, you can use iTunes or Libsyn that can distribute all your audio to other podcasting websites. And as I mentioned, yeah. So these are some of the basic, very basic on-page SEO. That's, again, I see this all the time, that the SEO is not done properly. Okay. Now you just have to understand that from the Google's perspective, when they look for any website that they want to give some sort of help, they look for the website's authority. That means they look at your website. Is your website has some type of authority? So what does that mean? It means, do you have lots of, I think more than 200 relevant, high quality links pointing back to your website? Is your brand or your links somehow, there is a lot of conversation about it on the social channel. There's a lot of buzz, a lot of noise about you, right? So that creates authority. How relevant is your website? The content that you have, is it really addressing and explaining what the customer need? This is why you have to do the design that Charles talks about for the user experience, the copyright, which is a technique where you can have a specialist called copywriter, not like copying property, right? Copywriter who can, the way they write the content makes it a little bit enticing and convincing to the target audience, right? Then Google also look for trust. Do you have privacy policy, legal disclaimer, terms of service, accessibility disclaimer, your business location, your actual name, the founder, all these accurate information that is not shady or pin name or fake name. They don't like that kind of stuff. So this is what builds trust or testimony. And when your customer look for you on the social or on Google My Business page, you are there. You know what I mean? And they also look for how the user, how they're behaving on the website. Are they having a good experience? Are they glued to the website? Are they spending more time on the website? You know what I mean? So that's what they look for, right? They look for how your target audience are behaving on the website. They look for what kind of links pointing back to your website. Are these relevant? Are these high authority links? Are these links coming from university or government or a news channel, a newspaper? Are these links from blogs? Are these quality links or high quality links, low quality links, right? Are these links trustworthy? Are these spam links or what they call it, the farm links, right? Do the social media mention you, for example? Are all your pages on the website, are those pages relevant to the information that you're talking about, right? How old is your website? Did you have it for like 10 years, 5 years, right? And how fast it is. Is it very fast on the mobile device? Is it very fast on the iPad or the desktop? Sometimes you can see it's fast for you, but navigating on different browsers, but the backend app is still slow. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's the sort of thing that they kind of look for. Okay, those sort of thing they kind of look for. Okay, so you got to make sure that there is that the font size from the user experience, it's bigger and darker, easy to read. You got to make sure that the content you're talking about, those key terminologies are mentioned, the contents are relevant. The domain itself should have the HTTPS right now. That's like almost mandatory, right? They look at the bounce rate, how many times people spend and whatnot. Okay, so these are some of the stuff that they typically look for. Okay, so the user experience, some of the basic SEO is very common on most of these websites, and if they can take care of most of those, then focus on promotion, which is either running ads, the search engine ads, or social media ads, or a content advertising, which is like a service from a company called Taboola and Outbrain. If you want certain blog to get more exposure on the Newsweek magazine website or Time or New York Times or Washington Post, you can have those ads show up on those websites so you can get more eyeballs coming to your website. That's called content advertising. Okay, so make sure when you go back, try to implement your on-page process. Make sure that the links are friendly. What I mean by that, if you have an about page, it doesn't just say your company name.com about. If that about page talks about your yoga gym, then say yoga gym, for example, right? Make sure you got the title tag relevance on every single page, the meta tag descriptions. Bruce, what if you optimize your Google My Business profile and they call you before ever going to your website? That's a very excellent question. That's a very excellent question, because now in this situation, what it means to you, you don't even care whether they go to your website or not, because they called you. Make sense? They called you, now you got a customer. So Google My Business page is one of the ways to get clients, because in the Google My Business page, you still have to put your website. Okay? If your Google My Business page shows up locally on the first page of Google, perfect, because you're getting customers. And now Google My Business page, before the crisis, they had additional services where you can have a booking system at no cost. And for restaurant right now, they have a service where they can get takeout and whatnot. You can do so much stuff with the Google My Business page. In fact, every businesses that have like an office like this, they should be on Google My Business page, because Google is almost like dominates 90% of the search. And even if you don't have a website, guess what? Your Google My Business page will show up. And if that's the way to get customer, yeah, keep it. Why not? Right? If I get customer through Yelp, great. Let me utilize it. Let me get customer from Yelp. If I get customer from Twitter, no problem. Let them come. Let them call me. No issue. So I would say, yes, you will still utilize it. You're still not going to ignore the website either, because the website, you have to use it to collect those leads, to collect name and email addresses. You know what I mean? Because your website is your real estate. You have a full ownership. If you own the domain, if you pay for the web hosting by yourself, you need to be in that mindset of full ownership, right? And everything else you're utilizing for your business. If you have somebody on the street playing with the sign, right, to show passerby to come to your office, let them. If that brings result, let them. I have this one customer who is a Honda dealer, who is a not a dealer, he's a Honda repair mechanic. So what he was telling me, that he had a company that helped him with the direct mail, right? Basically, you send the mail to a specific zip code, and he's been getting customers. Okay? Am I going to tell him not to do that? No. Do it. Whatever brings you money, why are you going to stop? Right? So, yeah, of course, if there are ways that you can generate income, whether it's digital, even traditional, go for it. Shoot in the dark is how you been, my man? I haven't seen you for like freaking ages. What are you doing? Where did you get a haircut? Well, you want me to tell you? Send me a private message. Okay. So keyword distribution. So that's the thing with you gotta make sure when it comes to the user experience and the basic on-page SEO needs to be implemented. Okay. It is 6:47 p.m. Central Time. Okay. The barber is awesome. And he's one of the best. He's my client too. All right. So I know Charles was talking about, what was your question, Charles, about link building? You were talking about link building, right? Was that your question? Was that your question? Where are you, Charles? Was that your question? Please conform your question. I think Charles, let me see, what was he talking about? He was asking about link building. So the link building, I mean, that's something like with the algorithm and with the changes, the link building process becoming very, very challenging and time consuming, but it's worth it in the long run. Okay. But here's the thing though. Even if you don't do, Charles, if you don't do link building on a strategic basis, if you write a content that's so amazing and impactful for your audience is going to share it and it's going to build a natural link back to you anyway. So if you spend 100% of the time focusing on writing something amazing for your audience, that can also help. Okay. But of course, if you want to push it a little bit further, you can definitely strategically, start coming up with a plan to do a link building, right? because right now it's a little bit challenging, because there are things when it comes to like types of link. You have like natural link, which means that sites links back to you without you doing the work. It just links back to you because your content is amazing. They shared it somewhere, or they talked about it and refer back to you and whatnot. Okay. Unnatural link, this is something that you are pointing at someone else or you're working on it. Semi-natural, that means you did both. You did the strategy and also you got the links back to naturally. And you also have to look at the quality of the links. What is it coming from? What are those sites? And there's also bad links and a good link. You know what I mean? So the process of building, I mean, you have to look at the numbers of the links. The more, the better. And of course, the quality, the more quality, the better as well. If you have a content written somewhere else and there's a keyword that points back to your website, which is called anchor text, it will take back to your website. You can also do internal link building. That means you're pointing in some of your content from one blog to another, or from your static pages, from the about page, you're taking the visitor to different service pages. That is called internal link building. You can also do outbound link, which is linking outside of the website. Okay, and inbound means coming from outside to your website. Okay, the local listing, what Bruce talked about, like the Google My Business page and Yelp and social media and whatnot. If you have tons of blogs and you want to turn one of them into an ebook, then you can submit it to an ebook website, for example. If you're using a podcast, you can use the podcast channels or podcast website to link back to your main website. And when you do your podcast shows, you can also remind the visitor to check the website as well, for example, right? Document sharing site, PowerPoint sharing website, like, SlideShare, for example, video websites, infographic site, where you can either create a brand new infographic or take some of your blogs and convert them into infographic, submit to these high ranking infographic site that has tons of different content for different niches and different topics. So some of those users will take your infographic and post them on their blog, and there's going to be a backlink coming from their website to yours, right? Review sites also matter, and also, of course, the social media site. So there's a whole process that you can do it on a consistent basis to help you to get those organic backlink, because that's the whole old school process when it comes to off-page SEO. Lashanda, what's going on? Hey, just stopping by to say hello and watch the rest of your show. Thank you so much, Lashanda. Did I tell you the other day what do you need for the camera? In order for you to connect the camera, there is something. Oh my God, I forgot what it is. There is an adapter that you have to hook it up. Let's see, is it here? I don't know what is it as. There is an adapter. I forgot the name. If I remember, just send me a message and let me know. Actually, let me check. It is not here. It is not here. Okay. All right, I don't know what is it at, but you need to remind me. So there's an adapter. It's like from HDMI to USB, and it is so cool because you can connect your camera, like a DSLR or Sony mirror camera, and connect it to that adapter, and the adapter does everything, and the quality looks so amazing. I heard that a company paid for links. Now that Google penalized spam links, they can't take them down. Well, the thing is with Bruce, paying for links, that's an old school. That's very old. And for a long time, Google always warned a lot of web masters and businesses to basically, not use, if they find out that you paid for links. I mean, technically, how would they know? But you don't want to even do that practice, because the objective, again, if you look at the website and we focus on our customer, even though there's no such thing illegal, unless if you hack sites to put some code and whatnot, that can be illegal. But if you violate so-called Google's guideline or standard, it's actually not illegal. It's just like these are Google's rule. If you don't follow it, they can penalize you. But technically, there's something called, back in the day, we used to call this white hat technique and the black hat technique and the gray hat technique. I'm like, why can't it be just a colorless hat technique, right? So everything has a rules. So the white hat means they follow everything Google says. The black one, they manipulate the search engine. They do stuff to get links, to get traffic, but not to basically just get customers, even though the intention to get the customers, right? So they manipulate the search engine. Then you have the gray hat who use the white hat and the black hat together, right? Black magic, right? So, and the other problem is that because whatever Google told you like 8 years ago, it doesn't work anymore. So even if you follow their guideline, they can penalize you if they change with the algorithm. You can get penalized by following their own ridiculous rules, right? So that's why with the search engine, we always have to be up to date with the algorithm, with the content, and we basically make the changes as we move forward. The good news is a lot of so-called the majority of the on-page hasn't changed. The majority of on-page optimization is still the same, except maybe the meta tag has a factor, the keyword meta tag has no factor, right? But the majority of it is still stood still. The link building process is very challenging. I mean, right now, one of our processes is that if we have a client in a specific niche, specific area, we use tools and software to look for other site with high ranking quality within the same niche that can take, let's say, guest content like Huffington Post and Inc. magazine or Entrepreneur magazine. All these websites nowadays take content from different writers. You know what I mean? So we can approach the web admin for those websites and request, hey, can we basically add a link, specific content just for your website, very unique for your audience. We can do requests like that, but that takes a long process. Even if we talk to like 30 of them in 1 month, in most cases, we can only close like probably 2 or 3 or 4 roughly out of like 30. Okay. That's one process. Another technique, if you can use tools from like a broken link tools, you can go to Ninja, what is it? Internet Marketing Ninja.com. It's a company here, I think in Austin. I have to double check where they are, but they're located somewhere here. I don't know if it's actually Austin. I have to double check. So they have a tool that can show you all the broken links. If it's a content and they have a blog with the content and some of the links are broken, now you can send an email to the admin of the website and tell them, hey, I found a broken link on this content of yours that is not working anymore. But if you're interested, can I also write a content for that specific subject that is broken so you can point it back to my website? I mean, you can do stuff like this. That's ethical. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But your whole mindset is supposed to be that whatever I'm doing, I'm doing it because I want the customer to find me, because I'm providing the best material, because I want to help them. That should be your focus, not just for the sake of manipulating the search. You know what I mean? So that's where the balance has to be. So anyway, it is 6:57 p.m. Central Time. Anybody else has any more question about website optimization, SEO, WordPress, let me know. It is 6:57 p.m. Central Time right here in San Antonio, Texas. Okay, I'm going to wait for like a few minutes and see what do we have. Blackmagic Design and AJA have adapters to connect your cameras. Is that the one? So there you go, Lashanda. Blackmagic and AJA, because I know there's this one adapter. I forgot the name. The company started with the letter CL something, and because my business partner here, he does a lot of cool videography and stuff like that, and this is the studio basically. So he showed me like it's like $160. You plug it to my actually, in fact, one of the first video I did here was straight from the camera, right? And we plugged it to my laptop here, and it was going straight to the camera, and the quality was superb. It was very, very, very nice. Okay. All right, Bruce. It was so good to see you, my man. Let's stay in touch and see if we can do something, live streaming or whatnot. I got 2 minutes left here. I'm gonna wait for 2 more minutes. See if there's any more questions. If there is any more question. All right, folks. Anything else for today? Do you have any question about digital marketing, your website, your social channels, how to break dance? Okay, I'll wait for 1 more minute to see if there's any question. All right, let's see. No more question. Okay. Is there any more okay. All right, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Don't forget, as usual, send me your questions in the DM me, and I'll be definitely back with you all tomorrow at 6 p.m. Sure, I'd love to have you as a guest on my show. Please, man, let me know. We can do that. And if you all enjoyed watching this, and if you want to get Yusufat approved, go ahead and tag some of your cool colleagues and businesses and share this, and I would highly appreciate it. Okay. All right. So bye bye for now. See you all tomorrow.